Hello, everybody. Luke Renda here on Feel the Link podcast. It has been some time since I have put up anything on my own channel, but I've been busy doing other things with my life, moving, having kids, and doing other podcasts on other channels. Unslaved with Michael Assarian and David Whitehead, and also the Tech podcast with Matt Presti. It's called The Exploration of Consciousness. I did a presentation called Mankind Possessed, which will touch on a lot of the basic Jungian stuff, and some of which we will talk about today with collective psychosis. This video is about Pluto entering Aquarius and a few other things, the outer planets, which are called the collective planets, and how they affect society more so than the individual as we share these planets in our charts. I will put the links below to my other podcasts, but here we go for the first slide. Excuse me, I'm a little rusty. Here we go. I will do a brief introduction about the Platonic months or astrological ages, which I sort of did in my film Dune analysis. Dune had a lot of processional symbolism in the movie, and I wanted to show how this stuff kind of went through into the media. Millenarian anxiety, upheaval of end of an astrological age, movement of Pluto into Aquarius, which is happening November 20th till 2044. So it's a long time, 20 years, 16 years in Capricorn, and a lot has happened since then. Historically, the emergence of Christianity roughly 2,000 years previous, and the emergence of the Olympian deities as lords of heaven 2,000 years before that, suggest to me that there are cyclical changes in the ways which we perceive the gods, roughly coinciding with what are understood as astrological ages. While the ages themselves might be mythic, there does seem to be a cyclic renewal of our ways of imagining deity, and I still feel this kind of enormous collective change, infrequent but vast in its implications, has been occurring throughout the 20th century and into the 21st, whether or not we choose to use the term astrological age. Liz Green, in her book The Outer Planets, is pointing out this transitionary last 100 years of the end of one age blending with the new age, which they call the Age of Aquarius. And again, whether precession is happening or not, it seems to correlate psychologically with us here. The entire concept of astrological ages is open to debate. Nicholas Champion in The Great Year argues persuasively that belief in the astrological age is rooted in an esoteric millenarianism, which is cyclical and recurrent throughout history, and which, in its present form, stems largely from theosophical ideas or ideology. The very sources for this ideology arise from such far-flung roots as the Hindu system of the Great Year, the Yugas, the Buddhist belief in the Maitreya or the coming world teacher, the Christian messianic myth of the Second Coming, and the Platonic Great Year. As a collective myth, the so-called New Age may have no basis whatsoever in astronomical reality or the phenomenon of the precession of the equinoxes, which is used to justify it. But myths are very powerful as expressions of collective psychic movements, and even if the basis of the belief in astrological ages is mythic rather than actual, this does not lessen its psychological power. The outer planets are deeply significant representatives of the collective operating within the individual's life framework, that they perform like a force of fate, blind, compulsive, overwhelming, and often destructive, unless the ego can develop enough insight to distinguish itself from the collective currents which it is a part. So we're dealing with a lot of collectivism right now, people getting carried away with, the beliefs of others, really. And you got to ask yourself, where am I in this? How do I feel? You know, we know that the gist of it. Here comes Jung. In these circumstances, the immunizing of the individual against the toxins of the mass psyche is the only thing that can help. So Pluto in Aquarius, November 2024 to January 2044. The last time it was in there was 1778, a few years into the American Revolution. Franco-American Treaty, American-French Revolution, decentralizing of the global power structure. Pluto deals with power. Aquarius is collectivism in a lot of ways, society. A new renaissance. It's going to be followed by Saturn and Neptune, which go into Aries. If you can see this picture at the bottom here, there is a blue triangle at the top, and that is Neptune and Saturn at the top of it. And on the left hand side, it's Uranus and entering into Gemini. And on the right hand side is Pluto and Aquarius. So this is the chart of next year when all these three collective planets will move signs. And it seems like a long time, but 6 months for all these planets to be moving into new signs, that's going to bring about large collective shifts that, we've been seeing slowly happen, but, nothing has really changed. Well, we're going to start seeing changes in the next few years, or at least even the next 6 months. So hold on to your hats. Make sure, keep your head. That's what it's all about. I don't like to see people going completely wild when something happens, say in politics or media, and everyone gets carried away with this, collective river of madness, really. I think this is my last slide. Jung suggests that when something is due to erupt in the collective, the only safety and sanity to be found is in the firm sense of your own individuality. Goes along with what I was saying a lot of on my last Unslaved interview, which should be out in the next couple weeks, on Jung's The Undiscovered Self. So your own individuality is where you need to stay. You need to work on yourself. Don't worry about this collective as much. People are way too collectivized. Uh, she continues here, Liz Green. Otherwise, there is no way in which the eruption can be channeled without you becoming a victim of the collective. You are blindly carried along with it, and because it is blind and undirected by consciousness, it doesn't reason politely and set up careful standards to assess who should pay and who shouldn't. These eruptions run like a torrent with a ruthlessness that one finds only in blind nature, but not in the reflective mind of an individual. The collective doesn't theorize. And yeah, that's all I got for today. I just wanted to put this video up because it's been sitting on my computer for who knows how long. And yeah, Pluto's almost in Aquarius, so it almost makes it silly to put it out after. I just wanted to get it out early and yeah, start making content on my own channel again. I'm gonna do some small videos doing my own work and hopefully have a couple guests coming up soon. And I will put the links to the podcasts that I've been in over the past year or so and hope you enjoy them. You can get them up on Rumble and on the Unslaved podcast website. Hope you're all keeping your sanity out there because I can imagine it's heating up. All right, well, thanks everyone, and take care.